What's going on, guys? My name is Frosty and welcome to, as you can probably guess by the title, a video I don't normally do. It's a bit of a tips and tricks video. Reason being, I was sort of playing COD by myself. Adam and Jake weren't on, so I was just playing by myself. So I thought I'd do some free-for-all, because I don't really play free-for-all, but I kind of want to try for the 100% on challenges. And obviously you have to win 50 free-for-all, or it's finishing the top 3 for 50 free-for-all games, so I figured I'd play some free-for-all, see what happens and see how I get on. And I played 2 free-for-all games and actually ended up winning both of them, so I figured I'd just sort of run over some sort of tips that I figure might help some people sort of do better in free-for-alls, because as I say, I'd never really played free-for-all before this. And I found, so I just happened to have a class going and it seemed to work really well for it, so I just thought I'd sort of share that, and it might help some people out to get in them top 3 for free-for-alls. So first of all, I will say the gameplay you're seeing is recorded off the theatre. I wasn't actually recording when I was playing these free-for-alls, so that's why it's in theatre. That's why the bullet registration might seem a bit off, because for some reason theatre doesn't like carry the footage over properly, so it looks a bit funny, so that's why the shots are a bit weird. But basically there were sort of 3 main points that I found that sort of seem to really help with winning free-for-alls. And the first one I want to go over is positioning. So as you'll see in the 2 gameplays, I've got this one on Morocco and I've got one on firing range at night. And what you'll see from the gameplays is I'm always trying to get to one specific area on the map. So in the case of Morocco here, as you'll see right now, I'm trying to get around to this bit up these stairs. So the top of these 2 sets of stairs was like a really big choke point. Now I don't know if this was just the game I was playing on this map that it happened to be this way, but everybody on the map seemed to keep feeding back to this area. So the sort of thought process in my mind was, if I can control this one bit of the map and I can sort of dictate the tempo that I want to play at this area of the map, then that's how I'm going to get the most amount of kills in the quickest amount of time. Because obviously in free-for-all it's a free-for-all, so you've got to try and get 30 kills before everybody else. So if I can get to that choke point and I can dictate and I can win my gunfights to that choke point, I'm obviously going to get more kills than the other people on the map who are running around on the other side of the map, for example. Because I can't remember the size of the lobbies. I think it's 8 people in a lobby for free-for-all. But essentially, if you're on one side of the map dictating, and there's 2 or 3 people on the other side of the map, but you're getting the 4 and the 5 people on your side of the map and you're killing them constantly, you're obviously going to rack up kills quicker. So positioning was a big thing for me. Like I say, I just tried to get to one choke point. On this one, it was the top of the stairs. On firing range, it was it's like the middle building with the 2 stories in it that you can see out of both sides of. That was kind of... I kind of tried to stick around there as much as I could, just because it's where you see the most people. So every time I'm off spawn, I'm straight back to that spot as quickly as possible. If I see anybody on the way back, obviously trying to shoot them and rack up extra kills. But every time I spawn, it was thought process was, how quickly can I get back to that one spot on the map? And it worked out pretty well for me, as you'll be able to see. The second thing that I found worked really well was I used overkill. I had an overkill class set up because I was trying to get the challenges for getting, I think it's 300 kills with overkill as a wild card. So I just happened to have that on with 2 submachine guns. I was using the MX-9 and the what's the other one? It's the one after the MX-9, but I can't remember the name. The GKS, I think it's called. And I had a class with those 2 on it, with wildcard, and literally, because I was working towards dexterity as well, so I was like constantly switching between the 2, as you'll see a lot as well. But it seemed to really help, because not only then have you got 2 guns, you've got the 2 sets of ammo as well, so it just makes it easier to win them successive gunfights. As you'll see here, I get sort of 3 or 4 in quick succession, and it just helps being able to switch quickly between the 2 guns. I'm never having to worry about running out of ammo. If I need to reload, I can just switch to the next gun, and it just sort of really helped to build up streaks quickly. Unfortunately, I did have the wrong score streaks on, because I didn't want care package on at all. Score streaks, definitely, you definitely want UAV on 100%. You definitely want UAV. And then counter UAV, probably not. I mean, you don't want streaks where you're having to sit around on one point of the map, because obviously as you're sat in one point of the map waiting for like a care package, for example, or if you're using a dart or an RC car, you're not able to move around the map and get more kills. So I would say probably UAV, maybe lightning strike, and possibly Hellstorm, just because they're the most achievable. The thing with free falls, I don't think you're ever really going to be getting up towards a strike team unless you're absolutely like incredible at the game. I don't claim to be incredible at the game. I'm okay at Black Ops 4, but I'm not to the point where I think, oh, I'll be able to get like a 13 kill streak on free for all and be able to get a strike team every game. So definitely UAV. UAV is the priority one, just because it just is a massive help with how many people are running around on the map at all times. And then probably, like I say, like a lightning strike, because you can call it in pretty quick, and then maybe a hellstorm, because you can sort of use a hellstorm quickly, but the third one you're probably not going to get all that often anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. But back to the class setup, I was running like I say, overkill with the two submachine guns. Normally I wouldn't be using the MX9 and the GKS. I'd be using the SORG and other stuff. But I was, like I say, I'm working towards challenges, so I need like to rank the guns up. So I'd probably use the SORG and probably an AR if I did it. If I was like setting up a proper class for it, probably something like a SORG and an ICR or a Maddox. Probably a Maddox actually. I'd probably do SORG Maddox as my class, just because the Maddox gives you that sort of longer range and the SORG is like the up close overpowered gun. So that's probably what I'd run sort of up if I was setting up a class specifically for free for all. Now, I think I was using dexterity as well. Dexterity is really helpful for that as well, because, as I say, it just allows you to switch weapons a lot quicker. And I think it's something like you can, it's either you can run and shoot at the same time, or you can. I know it's quicker weapon swap, so it might be quicker after you can shoot while jumping or something. I can't honestly remember off the top of my head without looking, but yeah, definitely would recommend using wildcard. Overkill, wildcard, just because the two guns just enables you to keep running without losing ammo, and it was just a massive help for me. So obviously, if you're holding down choke points, you've got people flying at you from all different angles. It's not like team games where you can just sort of post up and watch one angle and then have a teammate watching the other angle. You've got to watch sort of 3 or 4 angles by yourself. So the two subby class definitely helps. And the final thing I wanted to talk about, as I'm going to finish this a lot earlier than my gameplay is going to go on for, the final thing was, if you're doing free for all, 100% use profit. Like if you're doing free for all and you're going for the finished top 3s, use profit. The Tempest that he has is just the most overpowered specialist in the game at this point. I feel like, if you can use it properly, like it just. The chain stuns you can get off of it, you don't have to be incredibly accurate with it. It kind of, you get a bit of leeway, whereas compared to with like the Annihilator, for example, the Annihilator you have to be like straight on your target. There's no room for error with it. With the Tempest, I feel like there's a little bit of leeway with it, especially more so than the Annihilator. And like I said, the chain stuns are lethal on any game mode, let alone free for all. But it's in free for all, the chain stuns just help, because like I say, if you're holding down a choke point and you get the Tempest and you stun one guy and you've got more people running towards your choke point, then that's just free stuns, and then that's free kills, and that's exactly what you want. You'll see in this game, as I talked about, I was trying to get to it took me a while to figure firing range out. So I said about finding a choke point. Morocco was easy because, like I say, everybody just filtered to the top of them stairs over and over. Firing range was a bit different because everyone seemed to sort of move around a little bit. It wasn't quite clear what was happening. I don't like to sort of camp in one spot for too long, because I feel like, especially with kill cams, people are just going to come straight back for you. So I was kind of sort of circling around the edge of the map, and it wasn't really working for me. And then it got to about halfway through, and then I think some other guy in the game got streaks or something. He definitely had an attack heli towards the end, because I only won this game by 1 kill at the end. And I sort of didn't really know where to go, so I ended up. There was something happened. I think I just spawned at the building, and I just sort of posted up in there and just sort of played for kills in there for a bit. It was just like I constantly got like bloodthirsties on firing range, but I couldn't get up to the merciless that I was getting on Morocco and stuff like that. and it just sort of took a lot longer to find my footing on firing range for some reason. But I definitely found that the B building, I'd call it B building, the two-story building definitely helps in the middle of the map, just because you've got two sight lines across most of the map. Obviously you can't see backside of trailer or really into trailer, but there didn't really seem to be many people playing around there, so would definitely recommend using that middle building. Scaffolding sort of building I just feel is too open, like you can easily get shot in the back, there's a lot more entry points. Whereas if you're posted up in that building, you can kind of sort of see everything a bit easier. So that's kind of sort of the overview of the tips that I have. It definitely helped me to win the two games that I've played so far. I've only played 2 free-for-all games so far. I will get back on to doing some more of them at some point, but they certainly helped me to win my free-for-all game. So hopefully that can be of benefit to somebody. Like I say, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it, as I say, I hope it does help some of you guys sort of to get towards that challenge. Any feedback is greatly appreciated. The video has got a little bit of runtime left, so I'm just going to let some music play because the sound's a bit messed up on this one for some reason. It's done that a few times out of my theatre, so I'm just going to let the video play. I hope the tips have been helpful. Any feedback on the video is greatly appreciated, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Black paisley, mama told me. Yeah, come on. My mama told me one day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to say when shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, cause they'll get you through this so-called life they call living, but I call it strange. And I bet I'll do it, cause I'm on my way and strong enough that I can shake the pain. Hey, Mr. Sunshine, Mr. Rainstorm, meet me in the conference room, we need to brainstorm. Need some middle ground, need an even keel, but you're at war, picking sides, give me fever chills. Take them both like my flu shot broke. I need to give and take to keep me out of that moat. My head above water, thoughts of those lost this week. All these tragedies say on repeat like we can't shake shit. I can't speak on it, fist to the sky but I can't beat on it. Drinking my cup so I'm gon' sip on them. Cam Newton's probably pissed, he can't stiff on them. All these levels of these relative problems, and benevolence is elegance for those who can solve them. I'm feeling pretty low like I'm stuck at the bottom, but I know I'll rebound like the Bulls with Rodman. I am just exactly what I will be, just a guy who can rhyme and chop ill beats. One day I'll recover from what ails me, till then I'm on that fuck what the sales be. My mama told me one day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to sit where shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, cause they'll get you through this so-called life they call living, but I call it strange. And I bet I'll do it, cause I'm on my way and strong enough that I can shake the pain. They talk about death, we trying to live life while they signal says left, but they really going right. But who cares, they got nothing to improve upon me while we pass them fast lane Rubicon. So let the shitstorm ring and they try to dap us up, but we just leave them hanging. Yeah, so let them catch up with the language. They can talk shit, but you know that we can manage. They say they tired of the metaphors, they are only pissed that they never really ready for them. So go ahead and get ready for them. Pop another bottle, cause you're gonna need a steady arm. It's like we living in the Tron game. Lines are all blurred cause we're sipping on the Bombay. John Stock versus LeBron James. No competition when you factor in the time change. Babe Ruth sucks, fuck what the books say. I could strike him out with 3 pitches in an arm sling. Yeah, and we can do anything. Mama said it's true and I put that on everything. Mama told me one day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to sit where shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, cause they'll get you through this so-called life they call living, but I call it strange. And I bet I'll do it, cause I'm on my way and strong enough that I can shake the pain. We don't ask for the doors to close in this life, so we hoping they keep them open. And if they shut those doors, we'll smash the skylight till it's broken. Let's smell the roses, need to take that time to find our own road, so we focused on what's golden. And our gold don't shine, it's not from no mind, so we're not just living for a token. Mama told me one day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to sit where shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, cause they'll get you through this so-called life they call living, but I call it strange. And I bet I'll do it, cause I'm on my way and strong enough that I can shake the pain. Mama told me one day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to sit where shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, cause they'll get you through this so-called life they call living, but I call it strange. And I bet I'll do it, cause I'm on my way and strong enough that I can shake the pain. Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day everybody. Happy March Madness. hope your bracket's doing well. Happy birthday to my pops. It was yesterday, but still counts. Black Paisley Records. My name is E-Dubble. I hope everyone's doing well. If you haven't copped the mixtape, WrittenThursday.com.